Gatfruit seeds are a type of seed that grows a literal gun plant that spawns a python revolver when you harvest it. Syndicate botanists can purchase them for 6 telecrystals, but there are other methods of acquiring Gatfruits that will save you telecrystals. There are 2 other ways of getting Gatfruit seeds without spending money on them. There's a very, very low chance that salvage can find Gatfruits. That's unbelievable. There's a very low chance that salvagers can find Gatfruit seeds on botanist lockers and salvage loot, which I have played a lot of salvage, and I have one time ever found it, and I somehow managed to pull it on my first literal spawning of a locker. I couldn't script that harder if I tried. The other one is much more common, and it's the floral anomaly. Flora anomaly? Whatever. The flora anomaly spawns these strange glowing berries, and inside each berry is a random produce, and one of those produces can be the actual Gatfruit itself. It can also be a mob, so you have to be somewhat careful, but the Gatfruit isn't too uncommon. There it is. So we have the Gatfruit, and somehow managed to get the Gatfruit seeds from salvage. Either way, getting 1 packet of seeds in 1 Gatfruit, or 1 Gatfruit, lets you make an infinite amount of python revolvers. So if you get the Gatfruit seed from the anomaly, just take it to your seed extractor, and you'll get 2 seeds out of it. I think sometimes you only get 1, but either way, it doesn't matter. If you get 1 seed, you have infinite Gatfruit. We could be boring about this and just plant the Gatfruit. Gatfruit takes a long time to grow, and unmodified and unmutated, whatever you want to call it, it only grows 1, and it takes a long time. Pythons are still really strong. It spawns the non-armor piercing version, and each one of these bullets does 35 piercing, and you get 6 of them. So it's really strong, and the Python shoots twice a second, so it actually has a 70 DPS. It's a very, very powerful revolver. And the funny thing is now is that both Syndicate and non-Syndicate can get fairly easy access to these. Obviously, Syndicates can guaranteed get access to it, is what makes it so powerful. So what do we want to do if you want to spice up making our Gatfruit? Well, it's actually really easy. So anytime you plant Gatfruit, always make sure you have plant clippers so you never lose them. You never want to lose the seeds. So I could just clip this one and we're good to go. Just make sure you don't lose it. Obviously, Gatfruit isn't Syndicate only anymore. So security is definitely less heavy to just jump your ass if you're growing them. But you're growing guns, and security's not going to be happy with that unless it's nukies, and then they're going to be really happy with you. But anyways, you're going to want to be secretive about this regardless. Whether you're in a tag or not, you don't want to draw security's attention. Obviously, if you're non-in-tag and security's trying to take your Gatfruit, play it out however you want, but don't, like, kill the security officer. I'm not encouraging self-in-tagging, obviously. But anyways, enough droning on. And at the Mega Seed servitor, you just want to grab cocoa beans. And you just need 1. And we could just plant that, and like any planting, you just want to make sure you don't lose the seeds, because losing the seeds suck. Then we want to go over to our botanist locker, and we want to take our sterile swabs. I'll be entirely honest, I don't know how these work. I have tried desperately to fully figure out how they work. It just seems random, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. As long as you understand the process, you can guarantee get good Gatfruit. So just to keep things simple, I'm going to redelete that tray. We're just going to plant 3 cocoa beans in a line. You can obviously up production. This is not just, like, don't copy this exactly. This is just showing you the method I use. The reason why these seeds are really nice is that they have a yield of 6. Meaning that if you crossbreed them with a swab on Gatfruit, the Gatfruit will grow 6. And 6 revolvers is a lot better than 1. America loves this. But you just take your Gatfruit seeds, plant them, clip them, plant them, clip them, plant them, clip them, repeat until you want to minimize your gambling or maximize your gambling. Now, we take a swab. You take left-click tree, then left-click a Gatfruit, toss the swab, because as far as I'm aware, swabs do not allow you to use them more than once. I mean, the description even says single use, but I don't know if that's a leftover from when we had diseases. I have never figured it out. I don't know how to read the code. I have tried to read the code. I have asked in the Discord how it works. This is just how it is. I don't know a better way of explaining it. So take a unique swab on each unique cocoa bean, and then swab each unique Gatfruit seed. So in this case, we're doing 3 of each. Just like so. And now these 3 may end up having the 6 yield modifier. Yes, you could do this in a more even pattern. Like here, I'll show you the more preferred way of doing this. So we'll plant our 3, and make sure you always stay up with the weeding, because weeds are dumb. And here's a more scientific method, so to speak, of how to do this. You plant the Gatfruit, take the swab the Gatfruit, because this could transfer the yield just straight away. So then now we clip it, and then we can examine it directly. There we go. That's all you need. This is definitely the best method of doing it. Once you get this 6 yield, you can drop all of the other shitty plants, because obviously the Gatfruit takes a long time to grow. So you can just literally come over here and shovel out every single thing, no problem at all, and just make the biggest Python revolver farm you've ever seen. Each one of these will grow 6. So just do the math. You have 6 trays, times it by 6. There will be 36 pythons growing from these 6 trays. You have more hydroponic trays, you get more pythons. So to conclude this video, on the right side I actually was trying out using diethylamine, which mentions that it grows plants faster, but it doesn't seem to have any real performance, at least on Gatfruit, because from top left to right, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 units of diethylamine, and, oops, I accidentally harvested. It's still growing slower, or at least the same speed as the ones I just planted normally, so, like, I wouldn't really go out of your way to get diethylamine. It doesn't really do anything. Also, if you get the Gatfruits from this, you can actually use the individual... Go away, mouse! Go away, mouse! Sorry. You get the individual Gatfruits, you can actually grind them up for even more seeds if you like forget to plant clip them. But if as long as you're plant clipping them, you don't really need to worry about this. Maybe just like stash one away, or just in case security comes and raids you. That would be like one use of it. But anyways, yeah, like this is a ridiculous amount of firepower. It does not require very much effort to do so. And yeah, that's really all I got. Gatfruits are pretty sick. Go shoot a Nuki or a security officer today.